Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you. The full moon in Aquarius is still resonating, as is Lionsgate Portal, which are a confab of incredibly powerful astrological alignments. However, what is pulling on me is the humble planet Mercury, which has been retrograde for a couple of weeks and is moving direct this week. So this is important because it will still be moving over, albeit directly, its shadow period, the period it previously went backwards within. So this in many ways is clarifying and extending the period where we are gaining clarity. All the things we questioned, we looked and considered to readjust, to shift or pivot our game plan is now gaining greater clarity, but from the inside of your own process, your own mind and heart, so that you are really looking at and understanding better the most advantageous ways to move forward. Your overall energy for this reading, Virgo, is the Eight of Vessels. That is obviously the Eight of Cups. These cards are very moody, sepia colored. And this is describing what for you is a move away. You are leaving behind something that you've invested a lot of time, you've built a lot of relationships, you've learned a lot, you've been well supported, but it is time for you to move on to a new challenge, one that you feel will actually bring your achievement full circle. And by that I mean a way that you're integrating who you ultimately are with the work that you have done, the good work you've done. And this is your bid for true and authentic happiness. You've had many of the accolades of successes, but the sense of happiness, fulfilling an inner gift or talent, or articulating that through your work, is the element that you are pursuing, the challenge you've set for yourself. The card underneath the deck is the Priestess of Discs. And this is like the Queen of Pentacles, which is an energy. Again, the gendered roles are energies we all contain. So the Queen is regarding the divine feminine within all of us. Of Discs, this is a daughter of the Empress card energy. This is your ability to understand how to be productive, how to get the work done, how to do what's needed to do, how to be disciplined, studious, careful, and detailed in a way that is in attunement with the energies you're working with natural rhythms, so that you are understanding not only how to get the work done, but how to support others to do it as well. You are also in a place where you can also enjoy the recognition and rewards of your efforts. So this is the beautiful place of intense generosity with regards to the resources that you have earned and shared with others. And I pulled also a crystal oracle for you, the selenite. This is a selenite stick. And the key word is spiritual awakening. I am a spiritual warrior of light. This feels as though you are doing some very important theoretical work, academic work. You're researching or finding out about something. You've accumulated a body of knowledge, and you're reaching a pinnacle regarding your own original understanding and presentation of this body, this summary of knowledge that you have produced or gained over a while. So there's a lot of images of you facilitating discussion, ideas, thoughts, writing about something that you are facilitating, something you are culminating or understanding through your work. I understand this is very specific. In that regard, if this reading as a general reading doesn't resonate with you, it is okay. And I don't want you to feel bad or mad at me if it feels like I'm telling you something that isn't your story. Please look for yourself in other placements. You will undoubtedly find a message there that will resonate for you. So, from the present energy, the Three of Columns is the Three of Wands. This is about the work you're doing to set up where you're going. You're moving into a new business, a new team, a new organization, a new project. And I feel that you have been doing the work to make the contacts, to do the research, to find the ideas that will resonate for you. And even as you are moving away from a former situation, this ability to put the pieces in place has gotten you where you are, has ended up successfully landing you in a place where you have more control over the work that you do or the ideas that you are espousing. You have more facility to work with people that are similar, expert in alignment with your expertise. And in that way, there's a good deal of excitement. There's a little bit of waiting that's pictured in this card, but that is waiting for the ships to come in, so to speak. So you've already set sail on a number of aspects of this current work or location or enterprise that you're engaged in, and you are anticipating some of the returns, some of the feedback, which you can't know until you receive them. That's part of the excitement, I believe, of this change that you are making for yourself, this new direction you're pointing yourself. There's this excitement that you're getting into an area beneath your superficial expertise. This is calling on some particular gift of yours that is a part of the work you do, but needs to be integrated at a deeper level. In the past, the goddess of vessels is the King of Cups. Interesting, because this betrays, I will cover up the censored part, but this horn-headed goddess energy is about your own vulnerability, a vulnerability that you have spent a lot of time masking or hiding. Perhaps it's a unique way of working, a timidness in relationships, perhaps some wounding that you experience through the betrayal of friends, that you have gained a lot of maturity as a result of these experiences, where you once felt yourself vulnerable and therefore easily exploited or taken advantage of. Perhaps the reason you stayed away from situations was this awareness that you were vulnerable or shy or inexperienced, has really helped you to respect your feelings as you come not to avoid them or deny them, but to allow yourself to experience them. And what you've learned is that your vulnerability is your strength. That is the thing that makes your customers, clients, whoever you work with, comfortable with you, seeking you out for support. They see how you've overcome challenges, and that invites them into requesting your advisement, seeking your thoughts and understanding. But this emotional maturity has given you the grace to forgive yourself. forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made, the choices you've made, for still the discomfort or triggers you still experience, understanding that your vulnerability is part of your, not only your strength, but it's part of your gift. Somehow this is what opens the door to your brilliant imagination. And it's a quality that isn't often appreciated in the work that you do, but it is critical to your ability to do this work. In the future, the Five of Vessels. This is like the Five of Cups. And in the future, I see you looking at a pattern of loss, of regret, of heartache that you've experienced. Perhaps you're looking at what you may have thought to be rejection. Certainly loss. We all experience loss, heartbreak, absolutely. But you're understanding now the patterns of that, and in recognition of patterns, that means that you've taken on the responsibility to own some part in those disappointments. So you no longer feel like somebody betrayed you. You were part and party of something that ended up in disappointment. And what you've done conversely, and as a result of seeing your own patterns, living in those, accepting yourself, forgiving yourself, is building this truer relationship with yourself. In other words, it's not that you want to be alone, but understanding that the things that you haven't received in relationships that you wanted so much, you can and must give them to yourself first. So it is that self-love and regard, that self-respect that earns you the kind of love that you want. And that is, I think, the qualitative difference here when you are processing your own heartaches and trying desperately to understand the through line of those, the patterns of those, the choices you made over and over again that ended in a predictable way. And instead, really owning that you are, in fact, deserving of love. You are, in fact, deserving of respect. And that's important as you move on to this new adventure. I feel that this is very key to the work that you are going to be doing in, or the life you will be living in a new opportunity. On another note, if this reading is resonating for you, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It's very important to me that these messages get out to more people. I appreciate all of you that support me. So thank you so much for that. I love your comments and appreciations. Even your feedback is all welcome to me. So thank you. I'm going to clarify the Three of Columns here in the present. And I see two cards that have fallen out, the Devil and the Hanged Man. So I'm going to go with the Hanged Man first, because I feel as though you are still facing a lot of a strong sense of your own errors, your own arrogance or pride. You're making decisions that were not ultimately in your best interest, and you absolutely believed at the time that these decisions would be good ones for you. But having recognized, along with the patterns that you're now perceiving, you are recognizing this toxicity, this sadness, this leadenness in your, perhaps your current environment is something that is your responsibility. And that is requiring you to step back, to detach yourself from your feelings, your emotions, including the sense of hurt and possibly blame you have regarding the actions of others. So in order to really gain some greater perspective, certainly a better understanding, is the necessity to forgive yourself. You have a lot of guilt here about some choices you made that turned out not to be in your best interest. Perhaps it was ways that you just let yourself be pulled into things that didn't end up being good for you. And this feels very specific to a relationship, someone who desired you so powerfully that you acquiesced eventually. And then that became the ball and chain, the one that you couldn't get away from. Maybe the person who you ended up forming a deep relationship with is one in which you didn't reciprocate the same quality of love. Maybe it was an obsessive love that you or someone else expressed in a relationship, and for that you don't feel good about it. You recognize that it was not a good look for you, and the sense of guilt and shame is toxic. It's isolated you, actually. And yet, this isolation is important because this is the opportunity for you to meditate, pray, or simply contemplate the situation from a place of detachment in order to witness the triggers you experienced, the emotions you felt, and the greater perspective that helps you to not only forgive others involved, but to forgive yourself. In the past, the goddess of vessels, or the king of cups, is clarified by the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. Yes, wow. So I feel as though the maturity that you have gained is the result of a lot of suffering, a lot of feeling trapped, stuck in something, having chosen something, having given in to something, not as an exercise of your own desire, but as a passive response to someone else's desire. Again, the idea that you were entrapped or you trapped yourself in something that was a source of heartache, disappointment, even betrayal, is something that you have in some ways held on to for a while. You held on to this experience of suffering, this overwhelming sense of pain, until you were able to process it. And this is kind of a positive spin that I'm getting on this idea of holding this pain so that you could work it out, so that you could actually work through it, to explore it in no particular hurry. This has everything to do with your habits, your routines, the way that you are productive, or the way that you try to be efficient. Your well-being overall has been greatly impacted by this need to isolate, this need to be on your own, to work things out on your own in order to work this out in some kind of safety. So this being on your own, this being independent, was a way of moving away from something that was extremely painful and yet very demanding. Someone may have actually said unkind things to you consistently, things that hurt you deeply, manipulated you in a way that felt like you had no way out, but you were held there for a valid reason. There's a lot of love that is still coming through this particular placement, and I believe that there was love there, some kind of love. that you felt duty bound to honor. In the future, the Five of Vessels, the Five of Cups is being clarified by the, looks like the Three of Swords and the Hierophant. So, with the Five of Vessels here, we're really looking at the way in which you have really sought deeper understanding of this disappointment or heartache you've experienced. You perhaps even traced this disappointment to former relationships, family of origin, a pattern where you had to learn how, in fact, you were choosing something that was so hurtful and painful. It feels like a form of rejection, some way in which someone kind of kept tossing you away. And in that way, it taught you a lot about what you didn't know about yourself. I also get a strange message here about you rejecting someone over and over again. This rejection was something that went against all of your instincts, something that you were afraid of. This was some kind of a powerful bond, attraction that you were afraid of. And you teased it and you flirted with it. And instead, you stabbed it in the heart over and over again. I'm not sure what the specific situation was, but I do believe that in some way, as a result of the guilt, the understanding that you were somehow compelled to continue to flirt with this opportunity and then always go cold, that your work was a way of avoiding a commitment to this. You could not commit. In fact, it's kind of seeming as though commitment is an issue, has been an issue for some of the Virgos I'm talking to. A pattern of heartbreak, perhaps that you've internalized, you meted that out, you served that to someone who wanted sincerely to connect with you, someone you felt deeply connected to, but you pushed it away over and over again. And you have deep shame and regret for having done so. But the position you're in now serves as a kind of protection. You're in some kind of successful or comfortable organization or institution, profession that allows you to sublimate the lessons you've learned here. In other words, you can use whatever it is you are crafting or making or describing as symbols of this experience. And I wish I could be clearer about that, but those of you that this is for will understand what I'm saying. I'm going to finish up this reading with the Seed and Sickle Oracle. And these have been so funny. I pulled the Lily of the Valley. By funny, I mean these cards are very sticky. And I'm not sure why. But I'm going to look up the number 2, which relates to the High Priestess number 2, and the ability to reflect over all aspects and experiences in your life. Sacred wisdom that you hold, knowledge you hold. Lily of the Valley blooms at the same time that the nightingale returns from its yearly migration. Legend claims that this was because the lily fell in love with the nightingale's beautiful song. But with the lily too shy to confess its feelings, The nightingale is none the wiser and leaves each year for warmer climes. Don't let your reservations hold you back, or you might find that an opportunity is gone before you have the chance to take it. There is courage in being bold, and others will only know what you want once you find the strength to say it. If you enjoyed this content, Virgo, check out more content here. Thank you for your likes and subscribes, and until next time, namaste.